Sorry. 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 If you're offended, sorry. 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 If you're offended, sorry.
Hello, everybody.
I just totally fucked you up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sorry If You're Offended podcast with Scott and Drew. Today is December 29th, 2019.
It's the last Sunday of the decade.
And it is also the last night of Hanukkah.
Oh, well, shalom.
Thank you. I guess we just kick right in. Let's get started. Since we're still kind of in the holiday spirits here, and just past Christmas, let's start with the new Baby It's Cold Outside lyrics.
Oh, I have not heard that they changed it. Why am I not surprised?
They were changed by John Legend and someone else, and they made it more non-rapey, according to them.
I guess that's not inherently a bad thing, but
I mean, it's a timepiece, and I don't think necessarily that's what the song was about.
it's debatable.
We're gonna pull it up. We're gonna pull some lyrics up. First verse. The original was, "I really can't stay, baby. It's cold outside. I gotta go away, baby. It's cold outside. This evening has been hoping you drop in. So very nice. I'll hold your hands till they're just like ice." The new lyrics. "I really can't stay, baby. It's cold outside. I've got to go away, but I can call you a ride. The evening has been, I'm so glad you dropped in. So very nice. Time spent with you in paradise."
All right. That is so lame.
That's just the first verse. My mother will start to worry. Beautiful, what's your hurry? My father will be pacing the floor. Listen to the fireplace roar. So really, I'd better scurry. Beautiful, please don't hurry. But maybe just a half a drink more. Put some records on while I pour, was the original.
Okay.
Now this new lyric is, my mother will start to worry. I'll call a car and tell him to hurry. My dad'll be pacing the floor. Wait, what are you still living home for? So really, I better scurry. Your driver, his name is Murray. But maybe I'll just have a half drink more. Oh, we're both adults, so who's keeping score?
You're joking this, right?
100% not joking.
Okay. This whole song sounds like an advertisement for Uber or Lyft.
Yeah, it pretty much is, because we live in 2019. It's just a bad thing. I get that it sounds rapey, but I don't think it's rapey.
Well, the times have changed, and what was appropriate back then or considered socially acceptable back then is not the same as it is now, and I can fully appreciate that. But still, when it comes to pieces of art, you can't change art. I mean, you have to take it for what it is.
100%.
That's the way that the artist intended it. I mean, you don't have to agree with, the meaning behind it, and if you don't, then just choose not to listen or not to cover the song. But to rewrite the entire song to be a fucking advertisement for Uber is absurd.
Yeah, the lyrics keep going. I'm not going to keep reading all the lyrics. I mean, you guys can Google them yourself and check them out. I just think, like you said it perfectly, this was a timepiece for a different time when things weren't so, touchy.
Yeah.
And I think the lyrics, I don't think the lyrics were about rapey things. I think that we live in the time now where we analyze everything so much that we pick out things that we think are rapey.
I wouldn't even say rapey. I would say there's like persistence. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't see anything that's overtly rapey. It's just like the world we live in. What's acceptable behavior now is not the same as back then, and a lot of times that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but in the terms of this song, where somebody's just begging for the other person not to stay, not to leave. I don't get it. I don't get why that is necessary to do that severe of an edit to it. Maybe a word or a line here or there, but that's just a complete overhaul, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And I didn't even really like the backlash on the whole song. It's a Christmas song. It's not about, yes, he's getting her drinks and everyone's saying that he's drugging her and all that stuff. I don't see that. I see just a Christmas song of, You know, if it was just me and you hanging out,
If
and
you're
you're trying to go home, and I'm like, hey, dude, come on, have another drink.
I think if you assume that because a song's lyrics have something about pouring another drink, that means that he's drugging her, then that says something about you. I mean, really,
Yeah.
there's nothing, overtly said there to imply that he's drugging her. They're having drinks. That's what people do.
And she's trying to go home, and he's trying to just, keep her there. Like, hey, come on, don't go home.
Right.
I do the same thing to you when we're having a party or just anything. We're chilling, we're hanging out, and you go home, and I'm like, hey, I don't want to be hanging out by myself. I'm awake.
Yeah.
Dude, come on, just have another drink.
Yeah,
Chill out.
Don't be a wuss. Just hang out.
Yeah, and I get that that was kind of more like kind of like a lover kind of note thing,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's sexual, absolutely, but I don't think that it makes it, rapey, as you said, necessarily.
I could have used a better word there, but
Yeah.
I like the word rapey.
All in all, I do not like it. I don't approve. John Legend, poor taste, man.
Yep. You got an EGOT, dude. You got all of them. You got the Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, and what's the T? A Tony. You got a Tony too, dude. Come on.
I mean, John Legend is a hell of an artist.
Yeah.
I don't personally listen to him, but I respect him.
Yeah. I agree. I don't really listen to him either, but yeah. When you got the EGOT, dude.
I'm disappointed that somebody with an EGOT would come up with lyrics that are that bad.
Yep.
I think I could have written the song better. Just saying.
Next week we'll have our version of Baby It's Cold Outside. We'll go to the next topic, which I thought was pretty hilarious this week when I seen it. There's a magazine called Seven Hollywood Magazine, and right now Kim Kardashian is under fire for the recent photo shoot of the cover of the Seven Hollywood Magazine because her skin is too dark.
Really?
Yeah.
What is Seven Hollywood Magazine?
That's a good question there too. It's I guess just a magazine for people of Hollywood.
Oh.
But I have a picture here, and people flipping out about the whole
Let's see.
the whole pictures. Yes, she's dark. Yes, she has.
This is the picture?
No, oop, that popped up the wrong one. Where did that thing go? There's the picture. I'll open it in Twitter for you. She's pretty dark. Yes.
Oh, yeah, this is kind of absurd.
But, dude, she's of Armenian descent.
No,
and
this is over the top, man.
I do not. I completely
But
disagree.
here's the thing. I don't necessarily blame Kim because somebody edited this photo. I don't think that that's necessarily her doing something. I think that's somebody editing that photo.
I don't think her skin is too dark. I think the thing that makes it look bad is the hair.
She doesn't even look like herself. She looks
It's
like
the
a completely
hair.
different person.
But I've seen people, for instance, my wife, who's of Armenian descent as well,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen her get pretty damn dark, almost darker than that before, from tanning, from other stuff. I mean, she's a dark complexion girl.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, why is there an outrage about it? Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Even if she chose to, have it photoshopped in that way or whatever the case may be, who cares that Kim Kardashian looks slightly darker than she should look? Why are we outraged about this?
Yeah, I think the whole thing, their thing is it's, she's blackface in it and all this stuff. I mean,
She's not doing anything disrespectful or distasteful.
I know.
She's not mocking people of certain descent. She's, I wouldn't even call it cultural appropriation, which I don't even believe is a real thing. So what is the problem here, honestly?
I don't know. We
Here's
gotta ask Twitter that.
Here's a better question than what is the problem here. Who the fuck reads Seven Hollywood Magazine? Why does anybody care? You're mad about something that you're never even going to come across in your life. If you go to Kroger to buy groceries, Seven Hollywood Magazine is not on the rack.
It is not.
So you're finding a reason to be offended. And that's just stupid.
Yep. And we're sorry if we offended you, but not really, because this is really stupid.
Yeah, just calm down, people.
Yeah, and again, I can't express enough that she is a dark-complected girl. Maybe she's not completely black, but that picture, she's not even black.
Hey, you want to make Kim Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashians go away? Stop talking about them.
Yes.
All you're doing is making them money by us even having this
Yes.
conversation right now.
Yes. There's no news is bad news.
Yeah, it's all publicity.
Any news, yes. Anything It's just helping them out.
And that's a great point. I guarantee that this was done on purpose for this reason, because
Yes.
nobody reads 7 Hollywood magazine. Nobody
and
has given a shit about Kim Kardashian in the last 2 years.
Exactly. When's the last time anyone's even talked about her?
Yeah.
I need to be relevant again. Make me look as black
You
as
guys,
possible.
anybody who's offended is just buying into the zeitgeist. Congratulations.
So yeah, that was the one thing I seen this week. I've also seen the military photo of someone playing the circle game,
Like the actual, like the
circle game.
Yeah.
and they are being accused of being racist.
Oh my
White
God.
power.
Oh my God.
Military says hand gestures at game were not white power signals. This was at West Point. Some guy in the background of the picture threw down the circle game, and the internet just went nuts. Like, there's all racist people in the government, and
So where did this whole like white power okay sign thing come from?
I think it's because if you hold it upright, this is supposed to be a W, and then this is supposed to be a P. You see
I
it?
think people have too much time on
Yeah,
their hands.
that's just you're completely throwing it out there. And if that is a white power symbol, I want to tell every person that's ever done it and is using it that I hate you, because the circle game is the best. And now you've just ruined something that is sweet.
Yeah, I mean that was something that like everybody used to do when we were like younger. It was just
Yeah.
like you try to get your friends and you punch them in the arm, and
Yes.
you know, it's all in good fun. But I haven't understood this whole controversy about this particular symbol in general, because like I was always made to believe that this just meant okay.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, there's an emoji on my phone that does this.
Yep.
So,
It's okay.
yeah. And guess
So-
what? One of the hands, black. How's that a white power symbol? I don't understand.
I don't think they do either. Again, I think people are just trying to grab and grasp at anything to make a controversy.
Oh, but the thing is, when you get offended by something like that, or when you point it out and you make it a spectacle, then you're giving power to it. So even if there is a small amount of people who use this particular symbol as a symbol for their hatred, then by bringing attention to the fact that they do that, you are giving power to that symbol.
Yes.
You are changing its meaning.
Yes.
If everybody just completely ignored the fact that they do it and completely just continued to
Get punched in the arm.
see it for what it is, yeah, the circle game, or saying okay, or just a involuntary muscle action, then it wouldn't mean anything. But by talking about it and by bringing attention to it, by looking for controversy with all these photos of different politicians and stuff that are making this supposed symbol, you're really taking that symbol over for them. You are changing the meaning of that symbol through your thoughts and actions.
Completely agree. So again, let's bring back the circle game and let's kill white power.
Yeah, I mean, if you see it, don't call somebody racist, just punch them
Yep. Punch him in the arm.
playfully, because I don't condone violence.
The next thing I wanted to bring up was the Michael Bloomberg, the presidential candidate,
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
using prison labor for his campaign. How do you feel about that?
So, I'm gonna show my ignorance a little bit. I don't know a whole lot about Michael Bloomberg. I know he's rich as hell.
Yeah, millionaire, stock market guy. I'm pretty sure he owns all the Bloomberg channel and everything that's Bloomberg. I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
him.
and he pretty much just like bought his way into the primary. I think it's ridiculous, of course, that he's using prison labor, but I don't know enough of the details of the story to really weigh in on it too much. Did he pay the prisons in exchange for this labor? How did this happen?
Yeah, so he hired a company, basically that hired out other things, and that was just one place they hired was an Oklahoma prison to do cold calls and stuff on his behalf. So he's saying that he didn't know that they were specifically doing it there.
So let me ask a question. Are there any laws against this?
I don't think so, no.
Then I don't
And
care.
and then the main thing too that I want to bring up is that we give prisoners jobs all the time.
Yeah.
They do a lot of things. Yes, you might consider it a form of slave labor because these are prisoners and stuff, but they do need to make money. They do need to buy. They do buy things in prison, believe it or not.
Well,
you
they
don't get
also-
everything is free.
They
need-
also, there's something to be said for the act itself, so they need something to fill up their days
Yes.
and keep their minds active, and I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, my only question would be, is what he did illegal? If it's not illegal, then why do I care?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's not illegal. I think they're just trying to bring up the fact that I think it was a Bernie Sanders thing was one of them that was really complaining about it. A couple of the other presidential candidates wanted to make sure
Well, here's
that
what-
everyone knew that he was paying prisoners to.
So what? Good for the prisoners, good for him. Here's what I have to say to everybody else. You're just jealous you didn't think of it first.
Yeah. But I will, on the other side, flip side, I will bring this up. So the prison he did go through, the Oklahoma prison, says that they have a minimum wage of $7.25 an hour to pay the prisoners.
That's pretty damn good.
But the department's website says inmates were paid up to $20 per month.
How does that work out?
I don't know.
Is that on, but is that,
Maybe they don't do an hour, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe they only put in.
but is that on Bloomberg or on the prison?
Yeah, exactly. That has nothing to do with him.
That has to do with the warden of that particular facility. I mean, and how they choose to pay their inmates. And yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty fucked up. You know, fair wage for fair work. But I don't think that's necessarily on Bloomberg for hiring that particular prison. I think it's just circumstance.
Yep. I completely agree. And not voting for Mike Bloomberg, but good luck in your race with everyone else. I don't know. To me, the whole thing is a circus. So we'll see where that goes.
It'll make for some good TV.
And that's about all. It's about as far as that's gonna get.
100%.
So this is again another Christmas thing. I guess we'll bring this back up. So recently, Donald Trump came on TV and was pointing out the fact that Home Alone 2: Lost in New York is one of the biggest Christmas movies of all time. Ironically, on Christmas Day, CBC airs Home Alone 2, and they cut the Donald Trump scene out of the movie.
Did they really?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
But CBC says it wasn't politically motivated. Instead, it was cut due to advertising time constraints.
I mean, that makes sense. They trim movies on TV all the time, and it wasn't a part of the movie that had any bearing on the overall plot. So
I agree, but I mean, I think it's still just a little. It's funny.
It's kind of funny, and whoever made that cut was laughing as they did it.
Yes. And they also were quoted to say, as often as the case with features adapted for television, Home Alone 2 was edited to allow for commercial time within the format. So that's, again, their story they're sticking to, which is fine. And I just think it's a funny topic to bring up because...
Oh, it's hilarious. Like I said, I'm sure when they were deciding how to trim the movie, they judiciously decided to cut Donald Trump out,
Yes.
let's be honest. But, whatever.
Yeah, because he didn't have a huge part, but I mean, I think everyone kind of loved that part. It was kind of a funny part before this whole Donald Trump thing.
Yeah, that's because people
The
used
president
to
thing,
love Donald Trump, and
Yes.
they won't admit it now.
Yep. So that was a little funny thing that happened this Christmas.
That is pretty funny.
One big controversy that's happened that just passed. I don't know how you feel about this. The FDA just officially raised the smoking age to 21.
Yep. How do I feel about it? I'm kind of on the fence, honestly. As someone who's smoked cigarettes for longer than I care to admit, when I was that age, I would have been furious. But overall, I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, smoking it's terribly unhealthy. It's very addicting. It's a huge problem. I don't have any issue with it, honestly.
I completely agree. I think you should. I would even raise it higher than that. I mean, I know it sounds crazy.
How high are you going to raise it, though? At what point?
26.
26?
I mean, this even sounds crazy. This is a, hot take, everyone. I think a lot of things we should maybe even wait till 26 because they say our brain isn't actually fully developed until 26. So I think a lot of the decisions we make while we're younger that can affect us while we're older. I'm not saying it necessarily should be 26. I'm just saying you want to talk about...
I understand the logic behind what you're saying, but I think that there's no way to do that in an already established society of cultural norms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just make that big of a jump. I don't necessarily disagree with your line of thinking. I just don't think that it's something that is really realistically feasible.
I agree. I mean, even with the drinking thing, that or voting.
The
voting thing, actually, did you hear Nancy Pelosi wanting to make the voting age 16?
Of course she does, because she thinks that people are going to vote for her who are between the ages of 16 and 21.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people when they're younger are more liberal and more democratic.
Yeah.
But I think that right there is crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with teenagers having the right to vote. I just think about myself when I was a teenager, and I think that's absolutely absurd. But as far as the smoking thing goes, the one issue that I had with it, I guess, is that they didn't allow for people who already are the age of 18
to be grandfathered in.
Yeah, like what they did when they switched the drinking age. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because you got people who are already addicted. That you're basically just saying, no, you can't have this even anymore. Think about somebody who's 20 years old, who's been smoking since they were 18. You've already been doing this for 2 years, but now you can't do it anymore. Like,
yeah, I completely agree. That kind of, kind of messes with people. 'Cause like you said, addiction is a real thing. We all know this. Whether it be alcohol, heroin, opiates, whatever the addiction is, we all know. Tobacco, it all affects people. So that's kind of a touchy thing. Like, I completely agree. But I mean, they could even make the argument that those people probably even started before 18.
Oh, they
like
most
we
likely did. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think the good thing about this is when you were 21, you kind of hated the fact that you smoked, right?
I hate the fact that I smoke now.
I know, but I mean,
yes,
when you were younger, 18, it was still cool. Then 21, you kind of got to that point where you're like, why the hell did I start?
Yes.
I think what the raising the age will do is people that are 21, they will be less likely to buy cigarettes for people younger than them, because they realized.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm all on board with it. I think it's a good thing overall. I don't like the way it was implemented. I also think that it came about very quickly to make such a huge change to such a huge, industry, and do it overnight. Basically, it was pretty crazy.
I feel like we didn't hear any news about this because of, again, the impeachment is the only thing that is pretty much going on right now that people can pay attention to.
I'm really shocked that Big Tobacco didn't put up more of a fight about it.
I agree.
So, but hey, it's a good thing. I mean, don't smoke. If you're listening to this, don't smoke.
Yeah, don't smoke.
I'm not glorifying it. That's why I sound like shit, because I made that mistake 17,000 times. Let's go.
All right. Well, this is a pretty funny topic. I think it's absolutely crazy for multiple reasons that I will get into, but I'm just going to start with the topic here. 8-year-old, let me emphasize that again, 8-year-old Ryan Kaji brought home $26 million from reviewing toys on YouTube.
Oh my God.
I don't even know where to start. My first thing would be, does he get taxed?
I would assume he probably does, yes. Why wouldn't he?
Well, child labor, like all that stuff.
It's
like,
not
how does
child
it?
labor. I don't think child labor would apply to something like that.
I just don't understand how you could be so young and be working.
It's not really working, though, is it? I mean,
but I mean, you're still getting paid. It just, to me, it's a weird.
It is a weird thing. I'm not sure how that pay structure works, but it's not like he has an hourly job, so I don't think the child labor laws probably don't apply in the same way. The whole YouTube phenomenon is so crazy to me. I have 2 nieces. They're 7 and 9, and all they do all day is watch YouTube. And the craziest stuff. Like, literally, I'll be at my sister's house, and I'll walk into one of their rooms, and I'll be like, what are you watching? Oh, I don't know, just some guy.
Someone making pancakes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Someone cutting up cupcakes with a knife. Like, it's the weirdest stuff, and they're so into it.
Yeah.
And this whole, toy review thing is crazy. Like, last year, I literally bought my niece a toy that the toy consisted of boxes of toys. Like, the joy of the toy was that they could pretend to be their own YouTube unboxing person, and it was just a box full of boxes of little trinkets for them to unbox and pretend like they're on YouTube.
That is insane. And the thing that gets me is even the stream of people gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And this thing, it's like, I would never in my life watch someone open and play with another toy. I want to be playing with the toy,
Yeah,
or playing the video game. I don't want to watch you.
I don't understand it, and maybe it's just like our age showing, you know, that we're getting older because we don't connect with it. I don't get the streaming video game thing either. Like, I like video games and everything, but I can't sit there and watch somebody play video games. Like,
Yeah.
how boring.
Especially when you're watching it and then like you see something like, oh, the guy's coming from, you gotta go left, and the guy's just like,
Yeah.
like I just hate watching someone. It's like, I don't know. To me, it's
So this kid just made more money than we'll probably ever make in our entire lives
in 1 year.
in 1 year from literally just opening up toys and playing with them for other kids to watch.
Yeah. And the fact that kids are watching this, shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame on the parents for letting them.
Yes.
Like, what is
Shame on the
point?
parents for not buying the kids the toys to play with.
Well, I don't know about that, but like, what is to be gained by that? Is that what it is? It's like an easy way out of parenting. Like, I can't buy you this expensive toy, but you can watch Ryan Kaji open it up and play with it. Like, is that what they're doing? I don't get it. That's crazy.
Yeah. As soon as I seen that, first I shit my pants, and then second I just was like, I gotta bring this up. This is just insane.
I wonder, like, how sustainable is that though? Like, how long can Ryan Kaji continue to open toys and make $22 million a year?
I don't know. I think he's just going to keep developing. You know, once he's 13, instead of opening little Fisher Price toys, he's going to start opening like, I don't know, just, you know what I'm saying? He's just going to evolve with his age.
I'm going to start a YouTube channel where I open boxes of pizza.
Yeah, that's a good one. You never know.
I don't know. It's silly. I don't know.
Open a pack of cigarettes and smoke it.
It's a silly. No.
Roll a joint.
That's terrible advice.
I know it is terrible advice, but
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
this kid's opening toys.
I don't get it. I'm bored with the whole YouTube thing. And, yeah, it kind of mildly irritates me and makes me sad that this child just made that much money.
Yep. Watch out, Ryan Kaji.
We're coming for you.
I only got a couple more things. They're not that great.
That's a great segue.
You know, isn't it? One thing is the Joe Biden. Did you recently hear that he says he will not comply with the Senate subpoena if they ask him to testify in court?
I did not hear that. No, but see, this is what I don't understand about Joe Biden and people who support Joe Biden. Like, how is it that he can say things like that? Like, I'm not going to comply with a Senate subpoena, and then people actually applaud him for it. Like, with willingly and knowingly breaking the law and then announcing it to everybody.
Yep. But again, like you said, perfect point like you're making is you put that on the other foot. You put that on Trump's foot. Hey, I'm not going to, because he did the same thing. He doesn't want to testify. He doesn't want all of his people to testify.
And people lose their
losing
shit.
Their minds.
Yeah. And you can say, and I already know what the anticipated response is that, oh, Biden's doing this in response to Trump because this is how Trump's been. And if he can do it, then we can do it. But like stooping to the same level as the person you're opposing does not make you better than them. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to prove a point that you're better, you're more capable of leadership, you're more dignified, then why are you behaving in a way other than that?
Yep. And I think his thing he said was that if he testifies, then that's going to take the attention off of Trump for 2-3 weeks. But yeah.
So what?
Exactly. Prove to yourself, prove to these people that you're not, just as bad as Trump. Because that's the whole thing about him being with Ukraine and his son getting paid and all this other stuff that's just as bad as what Trump's doing, but everyone wants to ignore it.
Yeah. If you want to win the election, then win it by your own merit. Don't win it by pointing out how bad the other guy is. Show us how good you are.
Yes.
Show us that you are a candidate that we can believe in, worthy of being believed in, worthy of being followed. Don't show us why Trump is bad. That doesn't make sense to me.
I think that's what every candidate's doing right now is they're just trying to show everyone why Trump's bad and not actually show what they're going to be doing.
That's my biggest problem with this election is all these people have all these grand ideas and big ambitions, and they say all these buzzwords, right? Mm-hmm. And the main focal point of anything that they have to say is Trump is bad.
Yep.
But they don't ever explain how they're going to follow through on all these things that they're throwing out there that they're claiming that they want to do. So
yep, I think it's perfectly said. When people ask them, the funniest thing is watching these debates and people ask them a question, and then they just go off on a tangent that has nothing to do with the question, and they end it with,
Yes.
well, Donald Trump is our biggest threat right now. And like, well, I asked you about like global warming. What,
Yeah.
Like, or I asked you about health insurance. Why does it keep coming back to Donald Trump, and why aren't you answering the question of how you're going to pay for your plan or how you're going to change? They're just beating around the bush.
It's because they're posturing. They don't have an answer. Like, they have these ideas of things that they would like to do, and some of them I would like to see happen as well. But they don't have all of the little minute details, the X's and O's figured out, so that they can give you a straight answer. And they're relying on the fact that bashing us over the heads with the Trump is bad, Trump is a threat, Trump is, represents the end of American ideals, that's going to scare us enough that we're going to vote for you by default. But that doesn't work. I mean, Trump already proved that before with Hillary. If that had worked, then Trump would have won. Trump wouldn't have won the election in the first place. The way to win is to stand on your own platform, have your own ideas, and then actually have a plan for implementing them, and treat the American people like we aren't ignorant, because we're not. Just because we choose to act ignorant and we choose to behave in this way at this certain time of history doesn't mean that this is who we are as a people. We have the ability to comprehend, and we have the ability to think, and that's what we're trying to promote you to do in this podcast, and that's what we need to do if we want to fix the way that things are going, going into the future. And these candidates need to recognize that, and they need to.
We can't be, like you said, we can't be separating each other even farther than we're already separated. We need to be bringing each other back together.
Right. They're running on a platform of division, and nothing is ever going to be built that way.
I completely agree. I think the left is just as bad as the right, and the right is just as bad as the left when they can't just come together and have a nice civil conversation.
Oh, absolutely. Both sides are completely over the top with their rhetoric, and it's just literally nothing but slinging mud over the fence. And
we're getting nowhere with that.
We're never going to.
Yep. That's just a crazy topic, and again, we will just keep touching on it week to week because something always comes up with this.
Well, I mean, coming into an election year, expect to be discussing it quite a bit because it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Now this is just a personal opinion. Did you check out the new Netflix series, The Witcher?
I watched the first up. Okay, so yes, I did. But I watched it after our Christmas party, and I had a few too many eggnogs. So I got about 15 minutes in and then realized that I had no fucking idea what was going on. And then I had to, start it over again because it's very convoluted. But I have watched a couple episodes since then. Yes.
I watched about 15 minutes of the first episode and I just couldn't get into it.
No.
I mean, just even the first scene, the CGI of that monster, I was just like, this, I don't know. And then
I thought it was pretty good. I think visually, I thought it was pretty good.
I don't know. I didn't. And Rachel, my wife, was not a fan either. I tried to go with it a little bit longer and see how it was going to play out. But we got about 15, 20 minutes in, and she's like, "Can we turn this off?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess," because it's not.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen so far, it is like I said, it's very convoluted. There's a lot of timelines, and the first episode they just kind of throw you in, talking about all this lore and history of this world that you know nothing about, and that's why I literally couldn't even begin to comprehend it. I had no fucking clue what was happening. But I think it's a pretty decent show for Netflix, honestly.
I'll maybe go back through and check it out a little bit, try to give it a chance without my wife. But I just wanted to say I wasn't too big of a fan, but I do notice, again, just like the Baby Yoda thing, it's the only memes I can find now, or anything I watch or scroll through Facebook, it's throw your Witcher a coin, or it's just a picture of Henry Cavill with a word that just says fuck under it. I guess he says the word fuck a lot in it. I don't know.
It's just because it's new, and that's how anything that's new is. This one doesn't bother me quite as much as the Baby Yoda stuff. I haven't seen quite as much of a volume of memes for this, I guess. But,
I have seen a lot, but yeah, I agree. I'll give it another chance here. But another Netflix thing they came out with. Did you see the new Ryan Reynolds movie, Six Underground?
No, I did not.
Whoever directed that movie, literally, whoever made that movie, was on so much cocaine.
What is it? Explain it.
It's an action movie that not 1 second is there not something blowing up or something in, it is just there's no storyline. It just goes straight into action, and it's so confusing.
I mean, there's something to be said for that, though. That's like the number one reason why I enjoy the John Wick films is because Keanu Reeves doesn't talk a whole lot. Like, I know
Yeah, but I mean, there's
everybody's.
still like there's still like a premise like this. Like the whole time, I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Oh, there's like no plot development. It's
Well,
just
there's
nonstop.
like a little bit, like a slight plot development, but to me, it's just like non-stop. And it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like,
It's just feeding our short American attention spans.
and they go from like current to past to current, and like they don't even like
Tell you.
and it's the whole time you're like, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on in this show or this movie, and it's just non-stop action, cars being blown up, people being shot, and of course they got Ryan Reynolds in there, so he does his little cocky Deadpool acting where he just says funny little one-liners and acts like Mr. Cool the whole time.
Yeah,
and,
he kind of only has like one character.
yeah. So it was just a weird thing. They had some good actors in it though. There was a few other actors that I liked, but one of them got killed like within the first 10 minutes. And I was like, it's kind of crappy. But
I'll check it out just so I know what you're talking about.
yeah, just watch it and then just tell me that this person was not on cocaine because it's not possible.
It is Hollywood, so there's a high probability.
And for the last topic, there's this startup company, and they have this thing. It's called the Draft Top Can Opener. I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not, no.
It's literally a little mechanism that goes on top of any beer can or Truly can or any kind of beverage can.
Mm-hmm.
And you press it a couple times, and it's a can opener that takes off the whole entire top of the can.
Oh, that's smart. I like that.
I mean, you could just crack the can.
No, but it's about airflow. And as someone who's a bit of a beer connoisseur, then I will say there are many beers that are meant to be drank from a glass because it changes the flavors to have some air in there and stuff like that. So I guess it kind of just saves you stuff having to have the glass. I have no problem with that.
To me, I just feel like it's crazy. I don't know. They're probably going to be selling it for like $30.
It's one of those things though. It's a real like niche gadget that it'll come out. People will buy it for somebody for Christmas for 1 year,
and they'll use it like twice.
Yeah,
and then
and
it'll never be touched
and then
again.
and then the company will go under, and it'll never happen. You'll never see it again. It's whatever. Those kind of inventions, they pop up all the time, as seen on TV type thing.
Yep. That was their one point, though. Like you said, it was even the fact that the aroma, like when you drink it, you could smell it, and like being able to chug it and stuff. But I mean, when I drink beers, I just rip off the top of the can and I stab a hole in the side of it with the tab.
It depends
if I
on
really want to chug it.
It depends on the beer too. Like I wouldn't use that on a Bud Light, but if I had a nice stout, that's something that you want to have a little bit of airflow and stuff like that.
Yeah, but most of that stuff you just pour in a glass, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but what if you're like at the beach?
Yeah, true.
I don't think it's a bad thing. And like they even have there are companies out there that make cans where you pull the tap, like the tab,
and the whole top
comes off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen those.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of thing, I guess. It just makes any can into that. I wonder how you don't cut your lip on the edge though.
So that was one of their big things, is that it doesn't leave a sharp end, so you won't have to worry about ever cutting your lip. It showed them like rubbing their fingers across it and stuff.
Well, you've done a good job. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, it's a product. To me, I just thought it was a little bit over the top. But again, you're more of a beer drinker than I am, so
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, I think it's I mean, it's not something that I'd be like, oh, I want this for Christmas, But it's okay. If someone had it, I'd probably try it once and then realize that I'm too lazy to waste time doing that, and
just
keep drinking my
crack
beers like a normal person.
Yep. I just thought it was just funny how they just sell stuff now.
Hey, everybody's looking for an idea to make $1 million, right?
Yep.
So if you come up with something decent, why not? Hey, I give that guy who invented that thing credit. Good for him.
Yep, and congratulations. We just gave you a little bit of promotion.
Yep, you're welcome. Our 4 listeners will enjoy this.
Yes, and we want like our 10% cut on every sale.
Or a free beer top opener.
Yeah, that would work too. We could be, hey, you know what? As much as I made fun of you, we could be, you could sponsor us, We could just we'll throw ads out here for you. Give us a couple free beer can openers. We'll crack beers before every episode.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you really, really, really want to get your stuff out there, Sorry If You're Offended podcast
at gmail.com.
at gmail.com. Don't forget about us. The Draft Top and Drink Topless.
Okay.
Well, I didn't have too much more. So,
Kind of an off week going into the new year.
yes, Happy New Year's, everybody. And we're actually going to be dropping this episode and the other episodes on the 1st.
Yep, this will be our last episode that we've recorded prior to the official launch of the podcast. After we launch the podcast on the 1st with the first 4 episodes, we're going to continue to try and do this weekly, I believe, if we're able to. So you'll see a new episode pop up every week.
We will also be trying to bring, maybe not right away, but we soon future we'll be bringing a couple guests on that want to have some things to say about the opinions. And
It'll be nice to get some different perspectives and have someone to kind of, challenge Scott and I and open different ways of thinking. We're open to having our minds changed too. That's the whole point of this. So it's always good to get a new perspective on things,
Yep. So if you haven't already, please follow us on Facebook. We also did create an Instagram. We'll be going through that.
Make sure to rate and subscribe us as well.
Yes, please rate and subscribe us. Send us an email of anything that is currently going on that you think we should be talking about on one of these episodes. Send us your opinions on anything that we've said on these episodes, so we can maybe even go back over them with your opinion. And you can also mention if you want to be mentioned with your opinion, or if you just want it to be kind of brought up without, being from you personally. Those things are always welcome. And please like us, subscribe to us. I think we're also going to be trying to do video coming up soon.
Yep.
Along with it.
Probably when we start having guests on the show.
Yep.
We'll
So you can see their physical faces, their beautiful faces. And until next week and till the new year, I'm Scott.
And I'm Drew.
And this is Sorry If You're Offended.
Take care, guys.